Let's see today's search account example. Account search example. So here our example is whenever we just click on something on the Visual Force page, it should open something, and where you can just click on, you can enter the name of the account, and if you click on search button, if that name contains in any account name, then those accounts should be returned. So for that, what we are doing is we are taking one string, search string, setter and getter. Good morning, Satish. Let me share my screen. Okay. So if we get the search string first, then we can search for the accounts. To store the accounts, we have to create one collection that is called list accounts. Set colon get. Now, so once we have the variables, then we need to create one constructor. So why do we need to create a constructor? So when the Visual Force page is executed, first it executes the controller's constructor. Okay. Later it executes some methods. What are the methods? We have blocks. Those are called instance blocks that will be executed. Later the setters and getters will be executed. Okay. So before coming into the constructor, if the value is null or something, then what we have to do is to avoid the null pointer exception, we are making string equals to something like this. Okay. As well as accounts. So if accounts is null, then we are creating equals to null. Then we need to create accounts equals to new list of account. Okay. This why? Because to avoid the null pointer exception. Okay. So once we are done, then we need to search the accounts, right? So the search string will be, let's say if I want to search with the test, then it will be in the search string. Then what we need to do is we have to search public void, or let's say that page reference, whatever you want, void. Okay. Search accounts. So this is the method I am having, and inside this, as it is the instance variables, right? Instance variables will be available inside the class. So what I am trying to do is I'm just taking the search string, then querying the list accounts equals to select id comma name, and whatever the field you want, you can just use from account where name like. Okay, you have to give such a string. So if you give colon, that's called as apex variable. Okay, so accounts are there. Now what we need is, now let's construct the Visual Force page. Okay, so we know that this is the controller, right? It is a custom controller. To identify whether it is a custom controller or standard controller, then what we can do is we can give controller. If you give simple controller, then it is called as custom controller. Okay, so then I have a page block. This is called title equals to search block. Okay, inside this what I'm trying to do is apex colon input text. Okay, input text value equals to we have to give like this search string. Okay, same thing, right? We have given this search str, yes, same. Now here we have to give this account name. Okay, so once we are done with this, we have to create a button to search the account. For that, apex colon command button value equals to search CA or CH. Then action equals to we have to give this one. So means whenever you click on this button, this action should be executed. Okay, this method should be executed. Once we are done with this, then what we need to do is we need to show the accounts, right? For that, apex colon I'm creating one more page block with title equals to results, means search results. Okay, here apex colon let's say page block table, value equals to accounts. So here page block table means here we have to give the list of records, then we can iterate that list of records using var. KCC means we know that list will be having list of records, so it iterates one by one as the enhanced for loop. Okay, first record will come to the account, then we can use this account name. Let's say apex colon column value equals to okay acc dot id. You can give the label here. Header value id acc dot name. Account name. So as we have the command buttons, right? Command buttons always should be inside the form. So we are using like this. Okay. Now just try to view. This will come like this. Okay. So once you give test search, there are no records. We have let's debug this. What is the value we have here? Let's see. We have given name like, right? Let's see. Okay, let's see name like, then percentage. This gives the records. Okay, so this is just very simple search example. Okay, now here what we need to do is, so this is not in the correct order, right? Account name, so there it is, search button. Here we have the ID, account name. So here the number of columns you can display. Okay, so whatever you want, you can display number of columns here for this table. Okay, now if I want to select this one, if I want to delete or multiple records by using the checkbox, how to do that? Okay, let's see that. For that, what we need is, we should have one wrapper clause. Okay, for this what we are using is public union check setter and getter. So this is called wrapper class. Wrapper class is nothing but a class with different data types. Means if you want to combine account data and contact data into a single class, then you can use the wrapper classes. Okay, wrapper class is a combination of data types. If you want to use multiple objects into a single object, then you can use the wrapper class. Now here what I'm trying to do is, instead of this account list, instead of account list I'm using the account wrapper. Let's see. So if you want this account wrapper, right, then what we need to trade this, then we need to map into this for account ACC. account wrapper of A. Now what happens is, for each and every account, one wrapper object will be created because we are passing one variable into the parameterized constructor, and this will be checked is false. Okay. Now what we need is, let's use this. Inside this, what we need, ACC will be there, but it is ACC wrapper, right? So ACC wrapper, you can use ACC also. Okay, ACC dot A dot ID, ACC dot A dot name, because inside ACC we have a variable called A, right? Account wrapper, inside the account wrapper we have a variable called A dot ID, A dot name. You can use this. That's why we are using like this. Now apex colon. So if you want to um, okay. So if you want to display this, and you can use like this, test search. This just open the information. That's it. There is no way to select the value or something else, right? For this, what we need to do is, instead of the page block table, we can use the another table called data table or something else. Okay. If you use the page block table, then you cannot uh, make it editable. For that, what we are doing is, let's use the data table, x colon data table. Same way here also, values will be like this. Or instead of these, what you can create is, you can create directly tables. Then you can use like this. Let's say apex colon, okay, input checkbox. Let's see first there itself, will it works or not. No, ACC only. Fine. So let's use the another table only instead of this. So if you want to comment the code, this you can use like this. Okay. Now, so what we can do is we can directly form the table like this. Instead of table, we can use like this. Apex colon, sorry, data list. So data list is also to iterate the records. Okay, where value equals to accounts. ACC. Okay, for this, let's say I'm creating a table. Inside the table, I'm taking it tier and th as select select then account ID. I'm forming this here table. So in the first class itself we have discussed that how to frame that, right? Then once this is done, for each and every record we have to display like this table, right? For that what we are trying to do is we are iterating this, and then for each and everything then we are creating one tr. Inside the tr th, here what we are trying to do is apex colon input checkbox. Okay, value equals to acc dot checked. Okay, this is wrapper class one. Okay, then th, here you can give the um, any other commands as well. Input field, or let's say you can use output field as well. Output field value equals to, so input field or input checkbox or something else, right? If the variable is the field of any S object, then you can use input field or output field. But if it is the variable of apex variable, if it is apex variable, then you can use input checkbox or input text or input data or output data or something else. Okay, here sc dot a dot id, this is name. That's fine, no issue, fine. Okay, let's use test. What is this output? In this case, what we have to do is we have to debug the accounts. So what are the accounts we have and why it is doing like this? Okay, just clear, use this. Use this. Account ID, all are same. This is results. So what, whenever we say that data list, right, it is just displaying some other content as well. So instead of data list, you can use repeat. For iterating the list of records in Visual Force page, we have different tags. One is apex colon repeat, one is apex colon data list, and apex colon data table and page block table. We have different tags. You can use any tag for that. Let's say once we select the checkboxes, we need to submit it to delete or something else, right? In this case, after the repeat, after the table, let's use some command button called as apex colon delete. Sorry, apex colon command button called action equals to delete, then value equals to or something. What is this value on the right? Value equals to delete. If you want delete like this, now the delete is not there, so first create the delete function. Now here you need to use this function name. Outside the class. So once we are done, then what we need to do is we need to delete the records. So what are the records we need to delete? We need to delete the records. What are the checkboxes are checked, right? Now let's see. I'm just creating one more list to separate the accounts equals to new list of account for account wrapper AW equals to accounts. Okay, now here what I'm trying to do is if AW dot check, if it is true, then add that account into the deleted list. Add of AW dot A means the selected account should be here. Okay, then just click on, just delete the records. Delete, deleted. Right, now let's test this. Test. Okay, delete the test account. It is delete. Let's see what it does. Now search this. Test account is gone. Okay, but what happened? So still once we delete the records also, that was there itself because we didn't refresh that, right? So in this case what we need to do is just remove this from this list. Okay, how we have to do that? If checked, delete this. Okay, as well as from the accounts, remove this. How to remove? We should have the index, right? So for that, what we need to do is we need to use the enhanced for loop in this one, normal for loop, integer I equals to 0, I less than accounts dot size I plus plus. Okay, here we have to use this. If accounts dot get of I dot checked, if it is checked, then we have to use like this, deleted dot use this a, then delete this from the we don't need this, right? Did you understand the logic? So why we have written the this for loop? So to remove the record from the list, we should use the index only. To get the index, we use this for loop. Otherwise, that for loop is enough. Okay, let's use this test. Now, what is the last one? Last one is test company. Is that? It's gone. Okay, and if you go to that recycle bin, you can find those records as well. Okay, test company, test account, and delete. Now search again, those will be back. Okay, if you delete 10 records, let's say if you select like this, delete, now all those records are gone. What is this? Why it is still there? Test 99, delete. Okay, let's use this from 9, 91, 92, 93, 89 to, okay, let's use 4 records, 92, 93, 90. Okay, let's see why these are, instead of deleting, right? Let's debug this. Accounts wrapper, let's say what else it is checked, use this system dot debug accounts dot get of y. Okay, let's use test account to, we receive these records. Let's use 29, 28, 27, delete. Now let's see the debug. So we have only 2 records with true. Let's see. 28 checked equals to true, 27 checked equals to true, right? Then 29 30 is also true. Let's use the first sum. First 2 4 8. Okay, first one true, second one true, third one also true, fourth one true, then fifth one true. So all are true, remaining is false. This is also true, remaining all false. That means somewhere around we have logic exception called as concurrent exception. Okay, concurrently we can't do the same operations, insert and delete and all the things. Okay, that's why it cannot be possible. So here, that's one thing. Let's test once again with the test account 3. See, we have all this. Now let's use, okay, 34 to 39 delete, 34 to 39 are deleted, remaining are open. Okay, so this is just very simple account search example. Okay, now can you do one thing? I just need a delete button here. So instead of this checkbox, I need a delete button beside this. After account name, I just need delete button. So if I click delete, then this record should be deleted and remaining should be there itself. Can you try that? Okay, this is one requirement. If you want a try like this, what we need is, we just need one more column called action or something called th. Simply just ignore that. Then we can use untd apex colon command button. Okay, action equals to delete acc value equals to delete. Okay, for this we need to write a method as well. Public void. So here what we need to do is, inside this, okay, we have one thing called apex param. id assigned to, here we need to get one more variable called public id or something, string integer index. Get. So what we can do is, we can use, before the repeat, we can use one variable apex colon variable, okay, value equals to, let's say here first one is 1, then variable name equals to, let's say row num. Okay, so once the repeat is done, right, so it starts from 0. Okay, here what we have to do is, integer index is 0. it should be assigned to index. Okay, name equals to index as well. You can use value equals to row number. Okay, once we are done with these, once repeat tag is done here, right, row number equals to row number plus plus. Common way how to do this. So here, instead of doing inside the Visual Force page, you can create one more variable called index, right? So instead of this index, you can use inside the this one. Okay. So index we need to pass here integer index. Okay. Here what I am trying to do is this dot index equals to index. Okay, fine. So here for each and every record, right, we just need to iterate one by one, or what we can do is you need to take this into the one list, then we need to iterate that, right? For sorry, list of count CCS equals to this one. Okay, now again for integer I equals to 0, I less than or equals to I less than ACCS dot size, then I plus plus. So in here what we can do is instead of this we can pass integer as well, means I. Okay, from this to this. Then line number 19, what is this? AC. Okay, we have to use acc dot get of I, get of I. Then line number 54, what is it? So same code here as well, right? Same here. Done. Now whenever we use this, right, value we can directly pass this list acc dot index. Now we don't need this. Okay, when we click on command button, right, the index will be inside this one. Let's say we have to use another as well, public integer index set complete. Okay, this index is different, inside the this index is different. And now here when you see that, when you get just delete the account, right, you can get the index of the particular account which is checked, or some, let's say that deleted or something. Okay, now let's call, when you click on this, system dot debug of, you just say that index, what it is coming. Okay, if you see index, then we can get the account from that index, right? Simply. Now let's see, we can test to search delete, go to this, this is null.